Hi, I'm Mars,
And I am Grecia De la Paz.
and this is the unplugged Autocomplete interview. So let's see what the people have been searching about you.
Are we actually going to do this?
This is for real.
Are we actually doing this? Oh my.
Google.com.
This is not fair.
So weirdly, incognito tab, no history, no cookies about me. If I type in Grecia, you were the person that comes up at the top.
For real?
Yeah,
No.
Grecia, you were the first Grecia on Google. So I'll type in, ooh,
Take that, country. How many people has the country of Greece? I want to know now.
we can find that later.
We'll find out. We'll go back to that.
So you read the top one.
What? No, I don't want to.
You gotta read the top one.
Oh gosh. Okay. So what's the first thing that appears? Grecia De la Paz movies.
You've been on a few movies.
Yeah,
You've made a few movies.
I have to. Yes. Yeah.
What movies have you made?
The most recent one, which you have,
You're really betting the ball back to me right here.
the most recent one is called Tip Me, and it's been a very long and hard working process. And
It
I'm
was
very
supposed
thankful
to
that I've been having you there
Yes.
for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you were told to start this movie 8 months ago or so, something like that.
About.
Definitely
yeah.
from like the beginning of this year is when they ramped up. Now okay, we have to make our movies.
I felt like last year, before watching Anora and anything, I already knew that I had to do this movie for our graduation project, right? But I wasn't sure. I was in between two movies. It was either going to be this topic or it was going to be the NHS, which I'm actually writing at the moment. So that's going to be fun.
Next
But-
up.
Yeah. But very, very contrasting topics. But yeah, I think, and maybe that happened to you too, but last year I still felt like I had a lot of time to think about it, or like,
Which
it's
is
a
weird
problem
because
for
we were
future
getting
Grecia.
movies done really quickly.
Yeah.
Like, how long did we spend on, what was it called, RU? We didn't spend many, like, months
2
on
weeks.
that. We spent 2 weeks on
Yeah,
that.
less than 2
That
weeks
was
maybe.
really quick.
Yeah.
What was my version of that? Mine was like electrolyze. And I spent like maybe 2 weeks on that as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I
All
don't
right.
know. This is. Yeah.
I've come up with an idea. So whenever we find Grecia De la Paz movies, we also say that it also says Mars movies as well, because
They will.
you type in Mars, you get planets and chocolate bars and gods. Okay, you don't get me yet.
Well, hey, you type Grecia and you get the country. It's either one or the other.
I know
You're a
so
whole
hard.
planet. You are a whole planet. I'm just a country.
Were you named after a chocolate bar or a planet or a god? Which one is worse? I ask you. And then do we want to mention Loop?
Yeah,
Because that's
go
still
for
in
it.
the works. Like, we made Loop. We made the first 85% of
man.
Loop, and then we had to undo it because of
So
that.
there's-
You hear that? You hear that? Yeah, that's why.
Fucking sound. If there's one thing I've learned throughout the course of CSM is that sound is the most important shit. For real. Otherwise, you got nothing.
That was our first
Worst
week.
off.
That was our first week. They were like,
Yeah.
let's just teach you about sound for the first week. We don't even care about visuals yet. Just focus on sound.
Yeah, lesson
right.
learned.
I'm gonna move you on. The second one on this list.
Grecia De la Paz, Wicked. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet.
Are you wicked?
Definitely Wicked. But that's another story. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet, so I'm just gonna wait for November to talk about my experience in the movie.
I'm very wicked. Kill times. Anyway,
Actually, you're giving Elphaba.
I don't know because I haven't seen the movie.
It's not a movie. It's a musical.
I know. It is a musical. No, it isn't. It's a phenomenon.
It's a phenomenon.
All right, let's move you straight on.
Grecia De la Paz, Gilligan.
What is
Yeah,
this? What
that's
is-
part of Wicked. The Wicked
Is
universe.
that your character's name?
It's not my character's name. It's the how do you call this? Not the ethnicity, but like the country, like the
Oh.
citizens of something.
The palace from.
So you get the
characters
Munchkins from
Gilligan.
Munchkinland. You
Yeah.
get, I can't remember the city that Glinda is from. And
Emerald City?
the other one, maybe. I don't
Because it's
think
based
so.
off of Wizard of Oz. Not
Yeah,
many
yeah,
people
but
know.
the Emerald City is like the capital. Anyway,
This fourth one is just Grecia
just
De La
me.
Paz.
That's it. That's all you get.
Mars. Yeah. Grecia De La Paz. Say it. You gotta say it, otherwise there's no context.
Grecia De la Paz, age. I hate to talk about myself in third person. It feels weird. It feels very weird.
That is why these interviews work.
Yeah, what's my age? What's my age again? What's my age again?
You're
If I'm
useful
giving
in
you that
spirit.
reference already, you know how old I am.
Okay.
Anyway.
I mean, I quote like comedy movies from the 70s and 80s and sometimes the 60s all the time. So really, that just plays into this whole idea that Mars is a vampire. No, I don't get it. I don't get the Timothy Chalamet. I don't get, maybe I get the Ice Warrior thing, okay, but I don't get the vampire
You
stuff.
don't get the vampire. For real. Are we actually being honest right now?
If I didn't know me, but vampires aren't real, so how can I be one, you know?
Okay.
Smiles and covering up one's past, 500 years or so. I don't know how old I would be if I was a vampire.
Okay, so for some reason, to respond to that question, I get told a lot of different ages. Weirdly enough, I've been getting a lot of 24s lately.
You exude 24-year-old.
I
energy,
think
though.
so, maybe.
I said youthful spirit for a reason.
I think it's just my accent and my broken English. I don't know.
Mhm.
I get 24, 25, 27, but the real deal is that I am 31 now.
That's wild because I'm probably 25. Probably.
You're probably.
As long as I'm not a vampire or anything.
Well,
I've
I am
lived for a
probably.
quarter of a century. That's wild.
I'll take that. I am probably 31.
That's a good way to put it. All right, that moves us swiftly on to our next one, which
What
is
does it say? Grecia De la Paz, height. Okay, in centimeters, I am 166.5.
you got a double digits because I'm 188, I think.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But in inches, I am literally 5.55.
Wow, angel numbers.
In inches, I am 55.5. So that's 555.
I went to a casting recently and they were like, give your height. And I put, I think, 6'3".
No.
In the morning, I'm 6'4". Not many people know this, but I shrink throughout the day like most humans. See, I'm
Stand
doing,
up.
See, no, see, I'm that tall. I just go straight out of frame. I have legs, by the way, just in case you were wondering. But I don't know.
I think you'll be 6'2".
2.85
Yeah.
to mix the
Yeah,
metric
yeah,
and
yeah.
the decimals all together. Okay,
One more.
next one.
Oh, don't.
Go on. Go on. You got to read it out for the context.
Grecia De la Paz, hot. The fuck does that mean?
It's kind of chilly in here, to be fair.
But what does that mean? Why will people type Grecia De la Paz, hot? What does that mean?
I think you should make a website that just has an uplink to your current body temperature so that they can double check that you're not like, dying from
Not
heat
dead.
stroke or something. Yeah.
Not having hypothermia.
Yeah, exactly. Grecia De La Paz cold.
Is she hot or is she warm? It's like, what the hell? What the hell, people?
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
Am I hot? Mars hot. Mars is if Mars was hotter than it is currently, it would develop an atmosphere. And if you heat up a Mars bar, it becomes melted.
Very quickly.
And I guess every depiction of the god Mars has been very aesthetically appealing because I guess if you're chiseling at stone for months on end, you want that. You want it to be aesthetically pleasing.
I'm dissociating
I
right
want to
now.
make a really ugly statue. Next one.
No.
This one. Easy.
Grecia De la Paz, Instagram. That's it. Grecia De la Paz. Anywhere.
She's
Everywhere.
Instagram. She's just Instagram.
everywhere all at once. Grecia De la Paz.
Do you think you have the influencer personality, if there was such a thing?
I really doubt it, because I'm not an influencer.
What would you call the influencer personality?
Huh, interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna get canceled for that. I could. Is this it? Was this all a trap?
I don't know. When I was younger, I used to like comment on very kind of stereotypical Instagram posts, to the point where I was making like art pieces, but in the form of Instagram posts that like satirized very, very Instagrammy things. But that was like in the late 2010s when Instagram was a different place. Now it's just all algorithms. Everyone's woken up to the algorithms. So they're not just posting kitschy stuff with cool captions anymore. It's like, it's very niche, very directed.
Actually, if I could think about what the influencer personality is, I'm guessing that is someone that is influential, right? Or at least that's the point of being an influencer. Someone with a voice or like a leader of opinion, which is not the case.
They tell you in business school to be a thought leader. That means if you go into a convention, make sure you're one of the ones speaking. I still wouldn't describe that as the influencer personality, weirdly enough. I'd say the influencer personality is one of those people that are like, numbers, numbers, numbers. I'll say whatever I want to say, even if there's like no point in saying it.
Yeah, just like this video.
Yeah, exactly. Come see our movies. I didn't even talk about my movie.
Oh my God, we haven't talked about Mars movie.
We're circling
MX
back.
Rainer.
Unfortunately, MX Rainer is not here to defend himself.
Right.
So I am acting as the official spokesperson for MX Rainer.
Right.
It just so happens that I have to talk to MX Rainer about pretty much every artistic decision I make because I don't trust myself, you know. And I've got this relationship with quite a few people, and we really respect each other's opinions. So I'm just happy to be a part of every Rainer project, to be fair. You know, it could be a philosophy book. Did you know I wrote a philosophy book?
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, we attached a philosophy book to the Rainer name because I realized that there's no ethics connected to AI, sentient AI in the future. So what happens when AI becomes sentient in the future?
It's coming.
Why don't you make a movie about it, you know? Like that book was ghost written, by the way, by me. Rainer just put their name on it. That's what
As
happens.
they do.
As they do. They're kind of a succubus in that sense.
What else can we talk about from your side?
From my movies. Well, I'm in pretty much every Rainer movie. Am I?
Yeah.
So every
How many? No, I have a question actually.
Yeah.
How many films did you do in the past 2 years?
23.
Literally?
23. I know because I did the montage of all of the movies and there was like 3 shots. Ended up as about, what, 64 shots?
You actually did 23 movies?
I did 23. But we're talking about the, you know, the video essay, the how long was it? Like a 20-minute video essay that I did about my disability. Not many people know, but I'm a proud cripple. A word that crippled people have reclaimed for good reason. Anybody who studied crip theory will know what I was getting at in my essay. Because I was like, I have to make a video essay about crip theory because I get to speak my truth. And I was supposed to go on location for all of that stuff, and I had to start off that movie saying that I was in too much pain to go to those places. So I ended up doing the entire video essay in my room. And I don't know whether you can see that movie.
I think I only did 4 movies.
Yeah.
In
I got
2
an
years.
A for it, but like that was optional. So writing an essay is way easier than getting a whole set together. I'm just gonna see. I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm gonna type
Google
in
yourself.
Mars
Actually,
is
I'm
100% not
gonna
work.
Google yourself now.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
So you got my website.
Forest to the sky. But if I
The
type
website
you,
comes
okay, no.
People search more about you than they do about me. or MX Rainer for that matter. But they're not gonna be searching.
Okay,
What if
I
you
think
did
it's
Mars
very
MX
funny
Rainer?
that that's what comes. I think it's really funny that that's what comes up when you Google me.
Tell you what does come up.
Tell me.
If you type in Mars MX Rainer, you get one suggestion. It's Mars MX Rainer review.
Huh. Okay, what is that about?
This was a review that MX Rainer wrote for the Brighton Film Festival about this movie, which in Norwegian was called Sick Pike. I think I'm not pronouncing that correctly, even though I studied Norwegian for a year. In
For some
English,
reason.
yeah, it did weird things to my accent. To be fair,
Is
I
that
have
why
what's
you?
known
Is
as
that
an
why you have that
autism
accent?
Yeah, it's very Scandinavian at times.
I could not tell.
A lot of people like, you sound so British. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. How many British people sound like this? Anyway, and the translation of the title of the movie is Sick of Myself. Probably hands down one of the best movies I watched that year.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's when I fell in love with Norwegian cinema, and I think that's why I started learning Norwegian immediately after, so I didn't have to
Okay.
waste time reading subtitles. I could just absorb the cinematography.
I like to watch it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's not that long, but it is complete subtitles, so you will want to learn Norwegian once you do it. Also, Norwegian is just such a satisfying language to listen to. All of the plosives, all of the fricatives. Yeah, it's just nice to hear somebody talk in Norwegian, and it's even nicer to understand them. So that was the unplugged autocomplete interview. Do you have any closing remarks?
Fuck.
Sorry for everything that we've done.
I'm not sorry for shit. I'll do it all again, all over again.
You know
all
that,
of it.
You know that we're bleeping that.
Stay true to yourself. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, that's it. Go watch Tip Me and Farewell, a film by MX Rainer, about MX Rainer, starring lots of
guessed
people
it.
who are playing MX Rainer. You guessed it. Did you like that little detail in it?
I loved it.
I thought people
I
were going
was
to be like, take
laughing
that out.
so
It's too
much.
tacky.
I was laughing so much.
Nice.
Come to our screening. Help us graduate.
What date is it? What is ours? Is it the 9th?
By the time this is out, I have no clue.
The dates will be here. We're going to put the dates. I think
Oh.
there's 2 dates. 13th of June.
Somewhere in June.
We're going to cut and have an interesting conversation about the institution.
We're gonna have a conversation about the whole institution. If we ever get sued.
If we
This
get sued,
Never happened.
it will be the funniest shit.
This never happened.
And away we go.
Oh,
I'm sorry if this has been rustling. You're just going to have to deal with it, you know.
this has been insightful. I don't know who really needed to know all these facts, but.
I don't know who's going to watch this, but hey, maybe it'll take off, you know. Yeah.
Oh, come.
All right. Thank you very much. It's going to get really bassy as we get close together. Just like on Big Brother.
mics.
Just all of the Michaels. All of the Michael phones. Good times.